Good afternoon, class. Thank you. You can sit down. All right, then we've been looking at solving quadratic equations. We've learned 3 methods so far. Gabriel Narara, Pastor Mike. Kyle, Pastor Mike. Gabriel Narara, tell us the first method, please.
Factorizing.
Factorizing. The second method, Geno.
Completing the square.
Completing the square. The third method, George.
Using the quadratic formula.
Using the quadratic formula. Okay, that's what we looked at in our previous lesson, using the quadratic formula to solve quadratic equations. Vui, can you tell us what the quadratic formula is, please?
Minus b plus or minus root b squared minus 4ac over 2a.
Okay, you have to start with x equals. All right, x equals minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. All right, then, you were given 4 questions to do. We did number 1 in our previous lesson, and we'll have to do questions 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, Velma, you'll have to give us the answers to number 2.
X is equals to 3 plus root minus 3 over 6, or x is equals to 3 minus root minus 3 over 6.
Okay, 3, you mean 3 plus minus like that over 6, or x equals 3 minus root minus 3 over 6. Okay, is there anyone who has a different answer from what's on the board, or do you have the same answer? All right, someone has a different answer. Again, or what's yours?
X is equals to root minus 3 over 2, or x is equals to minus 3 root minus 3
Like that.
minus root minus 3 over 2.
Plus 3. Say it again so I can hear.
X is equals to minus root minus 3 over 2.
I thought I had 3.
Root minus 3 over 2.
Okay, root minus 3 over 2, like that. And
X is equals to negative
minus root 3
minus root 3 over 2.
plus
Negative outside.
minus 3. Oh, minus 3 in
Negative
front.
outside the root.
Minus 3.
Minus sign.
Minus root like that.
Minus 3
On 2. Oh, okay. Is there anyone else with a different answer? Nothing. Okay. There's a problem with this question. Oh, you worked it out. What is it? Gabriel? You don't know? What is wrong with the answer? Both of these answers. Andrew? All right, everyone, use your calculator. Find the square root of negative 3. There is no square root of a negative number. Okay, which means this particular quadratic equation, 3x squared minus 3x plus 1 equals 0, cannot be solved. The reason being this number here is a negative number. Remember I said a quadratic equation has two solutions or one. Did we find that out? Yes, I remember. If you looked at your notes, we found an answer that was x equals negative 4 or x equals positive 4. I think that was only one answer. And then I mentioned sometimes you will not be able to solve a quadratic equation as well. So this is one way you cannot solve. So this one, once you see that there is a negative number here, provided you've done it correctly, that means you cannot solve the equation. So for this one, there are no solutions. Please put it beside where you did the question. There are no solutions because the number inside the square root sign is a negative number. Okay, number 2, no solutions. Okay, when we do grade 12, I'll tell you the reason why it happens that way. All right, number 3, Jake, please give us your answer to number 3.
X is equals to 1 or negative half.
X equals 1 or negative half? You all agree? Yes, okay. That you can actually check by factorizing as well. Number 4. Boromeo, your answer to number 4, please.
X is equal to negative 1 root 3 over 4 or negative 9 root 3 on 4.
Negative 1 again, please. Are you adding root 3 or just negative 1 root 3?
Adding, I think. Or just root 3.
Like that? No plus?
No.
Negative 1 root 3 over what?
4.
Say it again. 4 or x equals
Negative 9 root 3 over 4.
on 4. How many people have the same answer as Boromeo? Nobody? Daniel? Let's see what your answers are and we'll check which one is correct. Quick.
X equals negative 5 plus root 57 over 4. Or x equals negative 5 on minus root 57 over 4.
How many people got the same answer? Do you want us to go through this? All right then, I'm going to go through number 4. A is 2, B is 5, and C is negative 4. The formula is x equals minus b, so negative 5 plus or minus the square root of b squared. B squared is 5 squared, so 25 minus 4 times A is 2, C is negative 4 over 2 times 2. This is number 4. And minus 5 plus or minus the square root of 25. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times negative 4 is negative 32. So it's going to be minus negative 32, which is the same as plus 32 over 4. So minus 5 plus or minus the square root of 25 plus 32 is 57. Okay, if you separate that answer out, it will be the same as this one. So it's minus 5 plus root 57 over 4, or minus 5 minus root 57 on 4. Okay, I want you to note, please, you should be able to change these answers to 2 decimal places depending on what is required. Please know how to use your calculator to do that, because you weren't required in this exercise. All right, number 5. Agnes, your answers for number 5, please.
X equals 4 plus the square root of 11 over negative 4, or x equals the square root of 11 on negative 4.
Okay, repeat please. 4 plus root 11 over negative 4. The rest of you keep quiet. Siegfried, I'll send you and you'll go and stand in the rain. 4 plus root 11 over negative 4, or x equals?
Square root of 11 on negative 4.
Just the square root of 11 on negative 4. Like that. Okay? Who agrees with Agnes's answer? No one? Rita, your answer please. We'll have to check if the answers are different.
1 plus root 11 over negative 2.
1 plus root 11 over
Negative 2.
negative 2.
Or x equals 1 minus root 11 over negative
1 minus root 11 over negative 2. Anyone disagree with Rita's answer? Miriam.
X equals 2 outside the bracket times 1 plus root 11 over negative 2, or x equals 2 outside the brackets times 1 minus root 11 over negative 2.
Any other answers? You mean all of you have either one of these ones? Some people still.
X is equals to negative 2 plus root 44 over 4
Root 44?
over 4. Or x is equals to minus 2 minus negative 2 minus root 44 over 4.
Okay, we are going to check these answers out. One answer is 4 plus root 11 over negative 4, or root 11 over negative 4. The other one, 1 plus root 11 over negative 2, or this. And Miriam's answer is this one. The final answer is this. Okay, I'm going to remove this to see which one is the correct one. All right, for question number 5. Taumaku, what is the value for A?
Negative 2.
Value for A, negative 2. Kyle, the value for B, please.
Negative 2.
Negative 2. And C is 5. All right, X equals minus B, so minus negative 2 plus or minus the square root of negative 2 squared is 4. So 4 minus 4 times A is negative 2. C is 5 over 2 times negative 2, which is the value for A. So 2 plus or minus 4 times 2 is, 4 times negative 2 is negative 8 times 5 is negative 40. 4 minus negative 40 is 44 over negative 4. Okay, but I realized, like the one we did in the previous lesson, 44 has root 4 in it. And we all know how to simplify sets, right? It is, this answer is correct except that it's not simplified. So 2 plus or minus root 4 times root 11 over negative 4, which I can then rewrite as 2 plus or minus 2 root 11 over negative 4. Because I am dividing by a negative number, it is actually better if we have a positive number as the denominator. So if I want to simplify further, I will have to factorize. And if I factorize, because I have a negative number here, I will take negative 2 out. If not, let me just separate the answers out first. One of them is 2 plus 2 root 11 over negative 4. And if I can simplify that before we go on to the next answer, I will get, if I take negative 2 out, I will get negative 1 minus 1 root 11, which I don't have to write, over negative 4. If I do that, I will have negative 1 here and positive here. Otherwise, minus over minus will give me positive. So my answer is going to be minus 1 minus root 11 over positive 2. Because negative over negative is positive. Clear? Okay, that is one answer. We haven't done the other one yet. The other one will be 2 minus 2 root 11, which means it will also change a little bit. Sorry, I haven't got enough space. I'll have to do it here. Okay, so x equals 2 minus 2 root 11 over negative 4. This is our other answer from here, which means that it is now, if I factorize and take out negative 2, I will get negative 2. Negative 2 divided by negative 2 will leave me with minus 1, and this one will be plus over negative 4. Again, minus over minus, we all know, is positive, which means that the other answer will be minus 1 plus root 11 on positive 2. Okay, these two are correct. This one was factorized, except that you didn't divide. You can actually divide. And if you have negative 1 here, it's the same as if you put it there, and then this one will change to negative. So this one is the same as this, except that it's not simplified. And these two are the same, except that this one was not simplified. Clear? Okay, just summarizing what we've looked at. If you are given a quadratic equation to solve, you can either use factorizing, you can also use or completing the square or the quadratic formula. Note, you use the method of completing the square or the quadratic formula only if and only if you cannot factorize, because factorizing is easier, it takes you a shorter time. If you find it hard to factorize, then you can use completing the square and the quadratic formula. I have seen many students changing the quadratic formula and not substituting correctly. You have to substitute correctly to be able to get the correct answer. Okay? Now, to what we are supposed to do today. We're supposed to look at word problems involving quadratic equations. So I would like you to please listen while I explain. We looked at simple equations, and with simple equations there are also word problems. You will have to learn to recognize when you are going to use simple equations to solve and when you are going to use quadratic equations. We are also going to look at simultaneous equations, and with that also comes word problems. So you will have to decide, given a word problem, how you are going to solve. You can work it out from the question. All right, the first example says, I have to find a number which when added to its square gives a total of 42. Find a number which when added to its square gives a total of 42. I am asked to find that number, so I will have to say, let x be that number. Or I'll use a different letter, n. Let n be that number. It says that number is added to its square. Now, if n is the number, what is its square, Megan? If n is the number, what is its square?
N squared.
N squared. It says this number I have to add to its square to give me a total of 42. Okay, if n is the number, then n squared is its square, or n squared is the square of n. Now I want an equation, please. Siegfried, you have to form an equation with n squared n and 42.
N squared plus n equals 42.
Okay. The number added to its square gives 42. Okay, how am I going to solve this number? Sorry, this equation, n squared plus n equals 42. Any suggestions? Raylin.
Subtract 40. Now bring the 42 into the equation and let the number outside be 0.
Okay, subtract 42 on both sides. I get n squared plus n minus 42 equals 0. Two factors of negative 42, that will give me 1. Pond relay?
6 and 7.
6 and 7. Which one is positive and which one is negative?
Positive 7 and negative 6.
Okay, so n minus 6 equals 0, or n minus 6 equals 0. I get n equals negative 7 or n equals 6. All right, have a look at the answers. We are asked to find the number when it is added to its square. I will get 42, or I get a sum of 42. Peter, do you think we should accept both numbers, negative 7 and positive 6?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Why?
Because when you put the numbers into the equation, it solves the equation.
When you put the numbers into the equation, it solves the equation. Come on, you should do a little bit better than that. We're looking for a number. When we add it to its square, it will give 42. Come on. Why is negative 7 a correct answer? Okay, Peter. When I square negative 7, what do I get? Okay,
49.
negative 7 squared plus negative 7, is it equal to 42?
Yes.
Okay, 49 plus negative 7 is 42. This one, if I square 6, I add 6, the answer is 42 as well, which means two numbers are acceptable. The two numbers must be negative 7 or 6. Okay? If we were asked, find the positive number which when added to each square will give a sum of 42, then we will disregard negative 7 and will accept only 6. But we are not given any condition here. Okay, so you then say, therefore the number can be negative 7 or it can be 6. All right, look at example number 2. The area of a rectangle with a very tiny e is 6 square meters. If the length is 1 meter longer than the width, find the dimensions of the rectangle. Dimensions means the length and the width. Okay, if I draw the rectangle and I make the width x, Garonamo, if the width is x, according to the information given, what is the length?
X plus 1.
X plus 1. Very good. Okay, the width is x, the length is x plus 1. Natasha, what is the equation now, given the information?
Two outside the brackets of x plus 1 plus 2x.
Are you sure?
X plus 1 times x equals to 6.
Okay, first you gave me the perimeter, not the area. It's talking about the area, so the length times the width will give me the area. So length times the width, I'm going to put the width on the left, is equal to the area, which is 6. X squared plus x equals 6. And like we did here, subtract 6 on both sides, I get x squared plus x minus 6 equals 0. Gabriel Chakumai, two numbers that I multiplied to get negative 6. When I add, I get 1.
Positive 3 and negative 2.
So x plus 3 times x minus 2. X equals negative 3 or x equals positive 2. Next question. Are both answers correct? Patrick? Do we accept both answers or both solutions for x?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, he says yes. Livingston, you agree?
No.
Livingston says no. All right, you will have to vote. You either voting for yes or no. Nobody abstains. Those people who agree with Patrick, both solutions are correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21, Patrick. Okay. Those who agree with Livingston, hey, try and be confident, with what you think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 plus 7. 7 plus 21 is 28. 5 people didn't vote. We can't leave you on the fence. We have to push you out. You either agree or disagree. All right then. What did we represent x by? The width. We said x represents the width. X plus 1 represents the length. Now, if, look at this paper, it's a rectangle, right? If we said that the width is x and the length is x plus 1, those of you who agreed with Patrick, you are saying that we'll accept -3 and +2. You are saying the width is -3 meters. Think about that answer. Can you say this duster is negative, how long can it be? -10 centimeters long? Huh? Yes or no? Well, that's what you said. Those of you who agreed with Patrick. The few people who agreed with Livingston are saying that you can accept only one answer. Livingston, did you agree? Did you agree with -3 or +2? Which one do you agree with? +2. Okay. The reason is you cannot, from this time, you cannot you cannot say a quantity is got negative measurement, right? You cannot say -10 centimeters long or -20 centimeters wide. The reason is this: negative numbers do not really exist. You can plot them on a number line, but they don't really exist. Like they're imaginary numbers. Positive numbers, yes, like you can touch this duster and you can say that it's 5 centimeters long. You cannot say it's -5 because then -5 does not exist. It's just an imaginary number. So, what are we saying now? Therefore, the width is 2 meters. The length is 2 plus 3, 1, which is 3 meters. We accept only the positive value because we are talking about a length of something. Or in this case, a width of the rectangle. So, what I'm really saying here is this. There will usually be 2 answers to any quadratic word problem or any word problem involving quadratic equations. You will have to decide from looking back at the question whether a positive number is accepted or whether both of them will be accepted like this or only one. Okay. You are going to do question 1. Quick, you have 2 minutes to do that question. 2 minutes. The sum of two numbers is 13. Note it's two different numbers, so you cannot represent two of them by x, because if you represent one number by x, the other cannot be x because they are different. You can only represent the same things by the same letter. It says the sum of the two numbers is 13 and the sum of the squares of these two numbers is 89. Find the numbers. We know that the sum of those numbers is 13. So if one number is x, the other will be? No, I don't want you to use two different letters. We're using one letter. 13 minus x. Because the sum is 13. So the other number is 13 minus x. When you square one number, you square the other. The answer is 89. You have one letter to deal with. All right, x squared plus, this is going to give me 169 minus 2 times x is 2x times 13 is 26x plus x squared equals 89. X squared plus x squared is 2x squared minus 26x. Then I have to subtract 89 on both sides. What's 169 take away 89? All right, 2x squared minus 26x plus 80, I can factorize. I have to remove 2 first. So x squared minus 13x plus 40 equals 0. Now, two numbers that I multiply to give me 40, when I add them, I get 13 quick. 8 and 5. So 2 times x minus 8 times x minus 5 equals 0. If there's a number by itself, I disregard it. So x will be equal to 8 or x equals 5. What are we asked for? Two numbers. The sum is 13. I square 8, I get 64, and I square 5, I get 25. 25 plus 64 is 89. So the numbers are 8 and 5. All right, for homework, you are going to do question 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 9, and 10, and 11, and that's it. The keyword to the pilot teacher is quadratic problems. Good afternoon, class. Thank you.